Peter Parker is a young man who discovers that his father's office has been robbed. His parents, business leaders Richard and Mary Parker, gather some secret documents and take Peter to live with his Aunt May and Uncle Ben. They then disappear without a trace. As a teenager, Peter attends Midtown Science High School where he is academically gifted but struggles with social interactions and is frequently bullied. Despite this, he has a crush on Gwen Stacy, who answers his feelings. Peter learns that his father, Richard, was friends with Drive. Curt Connors, a scientist who works at Oscorp and specializes in cross-species genetics. Desiring to learn more about his father's work, Peter sneaks into Oscorp and is bitten by a genetically modified spider. As a result, he gains spider-like abilities, including superhuman strength, enhanced senses, agility, and speed. Upon further investigation, Peter discovers that his father had left behind a collection of papers detailing his research. He visits Dr. Connors and reveals that he is Richard's son. During their conversation, Peter notices that Connors' right arm has been amputated above the elbow. He then gives Connors a crucial piece of information that his father had left behind, a decay rate algorithm, which will aid Connors in his experiments on regenerating limbs. After having a disagreement with his Uncle Ben, Peter leaves home in anger. As Ben is searching for him, he attempts to stop a thief who Peter had let escape earlier. During the confrontation, Ben is shot and killed. Devastated and filled with grief, Peter uses his newfound abilities to track down suspects who match the description of Ben's killer. In order to protect his identity, Peter creates a mask and a spandex suit to wear while carrying out his vigilante duties. He also uses his engineering skills to build mechanical web shooters that he attaches to his wrists. During a dinner with Gwen's family, Peter discovers that her father is a police captain named George Stacy, who has a negative view of the vigilante hero. After confessing his identity to Gwen, the two share a romantic kiss. Meanwhile, Drive, Connors' superior, demands that he begin human trials for his experimental serum, which uses lizard DNA to regenerate limbs. Connors refuses to rush the testing process and puts the safety of innocent people at risk. As a result, fires Connors and decides to test the serum at a Veterans Administration hospital. In a moment of desperation, Connors decides to try the formula on himself. After passing out, he wakes up to find that his missing arm has regenerated. Upon learning that Rather is on his way to the hospital, Connors sets out to intercept him. By the time he reaches the Williamsburg Bridge, he has transformed into a violent humanoid reptile. Peter, now calling himself Spider-Man, saves the people on the bridge from Connors' attack. After a battle in the sewers, the lizard discovers Spider-Man's true identity and attacks Peter at school. The police launch a manhunt for both Spider-Man and the lizard. They eventually corner Spider-Man, leading Captain Stacy to discover that Spider-Man is Peter and lets him go in order to stop the lizard. The lizard plans to turn all humans into reptiles by releasing a chemical cloud from Oscorp's tower, which he believes will eliminate the weaknesses that plague humanity. Gwen creates an antidote which Peter disperses, restoring Connors and his victims to their normal states. However, not before the lizard fatally wounds Captain Stacy. Before his death, Captain Stacy asks Peter to stay away from Gwen in order to keep her safe. Initially, Peter agrees to this request, but as they both become unhappy, he hints to Gwen that he may see her after all. In a mid-credits scene, an imprisoned Connors speaks with a mysterious man in the shadows who asks if he knows the truth about Peter's father. Connors does not know and pleads with the man to leave Peter alone before disappearing into the shadows.